Thank you, Christoph. Thank you, everyone. I'm Giuditta del Buono, Technical Product Manager, part of the CTO team, and I will introduce to you how to use labels level 2 and 3 together with Ryan, part of our Gaia-X lab in CTO team. So I will provide you with some general information about Gaia-X compliance and latest updates. And then I will explain how to combine certification and declarations to get all labels, and in particular label 2 and 3. Then I will refer a bit and explain about the relationship between Loire and Danube, since we know that this is a topic. We will repeat it in many presentations, but I will mention it also in this presentation. Then Ryan will go ahead with the second part of the presentation, introducing some more technical terms, the use of the Gaia-X certification notary. He will explain in general how it works, the compliance workflow. And he will deepen a valid combination example for label level 2, and he will also speak about the VC JWT playground. In general, if you have any questions, please ask. So keep in mind your questions, and we will have some time at the end of the presentation to go through them. So first, Gaia-X compliance. Some general but very important basic concept that you need to have. So today our compliance is formed of 4 conformity assessment schemes, starting from standard compliance up to label level 3. These compliance schemes are mostly for cloud services, and they express the Gaia-X value, so transparency, portability, control, also European control in label level 2 and 3, protection and security. We have different kind of criteria, and many criteria are the same at the different levels, but what you need to provide at the different levels change. Another fundamental principle, the claims that you will have to be provided as verifiable credentials, and in particular we use the W3C VC data model 2.0. You also have to provide those claims using our ontology. Then all the claims that you will have to collect and present to prove your compliance will have to be collected in a single verifiable presentation. This presentation has to be sent to one Gaia-X accredited clearinghouse. You know that we have more and more clearinghouses provided by different providers throughout Europe. You can choose the one you wish. And we also monitor actively them, also using a new tool what my colleague Delphine worked on recently. And this presentation is presented to a Gaia-X clearinghouse, and the outcome, if all the checks are positive, is a verifiable credential which attests your compliance with Gaia-X to one of the specific assessment schemes, and you can store it in a wallet, you can exchange it, you can use it to prove the compliance of a provider or a service, mostly a service regarding the criteria. In relation to the use of certifications and declarations, as I told you, many criteria are the same, but depending on the specific assessment scheme and depending on the criteria, you would have to mandatorily provide a declaration or a certifications. So for the first levels, standard compliance label level 1, you can just provide declarations. These declarations are self-signed, and you don't have to provide more. So you have to use the ontology, you have to provide the claims as it is requested, you provide verifiable credentials, you collect them, and you can achieve standard compliance at level 1 if everything is correct. So all this information, the details about this information is part of our compliance document. We have, so don't know if it was already announced, but we have a new release 2510. It was approved by the Gaia-X BOD also yesterday. And yes, in this compliance document, you will find all the detailed requirement for each criterion and assessment scheme. And part of the compliance document is the definition of the permissible standards for each criterion, the possible standard that you can bring, that you can provide in order to prove compliance with the criterion. So we have many standards, many permissible standards for each criterion. And we have certified, not certified by us, but certified according to the schemes related to these standards, conformity assessment bodies that can provide you with a declaration, with a certification, which will be used in this context. So we have our policy rules committee defines which CABs are accepted, and these CABs can be used to get the required certification. We are stabilizing also the standards and the criteria, but you might notice some differences from one release to the other, so it's important to read the compliance document first. So as you can see, while the declaration is a self-assessment, the certification, and this is general knowledge, is a third-party assessment. And yes, this is used in the context of label level 2 and 3. This is mandatory. While, and this is a new rule option that we introduced in the latest version of the compliance document, you can also use them if you have some certifications according to the permissible standard for one specific criterion. You can also use certifications in the context of standard compliance at level 1, and this can help you to reduce the number of the criteria that you will have to declare. So for sure I won't go to the numbers of the criteria, but I produced this slide and the next one also to leave some useful content for you after today, after this presentation. And the purpose is to show you not all the possible combinations, but some valid combinations to reach here level 2, and then I have another one for level 3. So you can see that combining different certifications, Secnum Cloud and CISPE, Secnum Cloud and the Cloud Neutral Data Center Pact, the European Cloud of Conduct, ISO 2701 and CISPE, you can reach level 2 if you have a valid certification for these standards, and you will have to add to these certifications the declarations that follow. I distinguished blue and black because for the criteria in blue, only declaration is available and mandatory today. So also in level 2 and 3, you will see that some criteria cannot be, or today for this criteria anyway, certification is not mandatory, maybe because we don't have enough permissible standards to prove them, or we don't have standards so far, but maybe we will have in the future. So this is the situation today. These combinations are valid to get level 2, and so certifications and declarations, the blue one can be only declared, while the black one can be either yes, certified or declared. This is the same for level 3, and I don't know if you are able to catch the difference compared to the previous slide. Probably not. I don't know, it's a joke, but there are some differences. So you will see that in general you have more declarations, and so many declarations are related. So the 5.1.5, 6, etc., they are related to European control, mostly to be declared at this point, but maybe, yes, some certification scheme will appear. And we also have the criterion, this criterion 61234, they relate to sustainability. So the first one, 611, is related to transparency on sustainability, which is also one of the important Gaia-X value. And this criteria will have to be declared at all levels, while the other one are more specific for energy, water efficiency, and they are requested level 2 and 3, and yes, they can be declared or certified. So this is a view for level 2 and 3, and yes, very last information for my part in relation to the Danube and Loire. So someone might wonder, but are they compatible? Are they in line? What is the relationship between Danube and Loire? Also because we don't have compliance rules for Danube, and we won't have them. Because the point is that, in fact, they are very connected and interrelated one to the other, because Danube represents from now, and we represent Gaia-X technical compatibility. While Loire is the latest version, including the rules, with all the compliance schemes that I showed to you before. So in fact, in the Danube, new Danube view, Gaia-X Loire, the compliance that we have in Loire, is a specific, has to be seen as a specific Danube extension. So Danube will also support Loire, and it will also be shown by, yes, the rest of the team. And yeah. Yes, 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 yes. Okay, so with Danube, we will operationalize not only the Gaia-X defined compliance, for example, the schemes that I presented, but also other rule sets and using our technical compatibility. And so this is the connection, and it was also an advertisement for more specific talks around it. So I think I ended for my part.
Thank you, Giuditta. So, first of all, I'm trying the remote. Yeah, okay. So first of all, welcome everyone. Yeah, so after what Giuditta explained to us how the Loire level 2 and 3 actually work and all the logic behind it, I will try to explain some technical terms so everyone will be at the same page. So first of all, we will hear in this presentation and even in the other ones, technical especially presentation, some terms like the DID. What we mean by DID is decentralized identifier. A DID is a unique self-owned digital identifier that enables secure, verifiable interaction with, without relying on a central authority, basically. And also the term VC, for the short appellation, which is a verifiable credential. So a VC is a temper, evident digital claim that proves information about an individual or an entity, verified using cryptographic proof, the private and the public keys, also the certification. So yes, let's first start talking a little bit about our certification notary. So just keep in mind that this presentation I will just try to explain a little bit how does it work, but in the presentation just after this one, we will dive more into the notary and how it actually works. So the goal of the certification notary is to provide the Gaia-X compliance with trustworthy VCs or certification within the permissible standard of the compliance document. So basically, that's what we want. So for the certification notary to work, yeah, of course. Yes, thank you, Christophe. So for the certification notary to work well, we just need to provide it the original paper certificate, PDF, or just the paper ones. And as an output, the certification notary will provide us a GWT format signed VC of the type CAP certification with the schema of type CAP conformity assessment scheme, as well as a CAP issuer of type CAP conformity assessment body. So yeah, it's I won't explain every line. It's just for demonstrating. This is what we can call a JSON web token. It will be this format, a little bit way longer than that, just for the sake of the example, yeah. And when we decode that, we will have a JSON file, as we can see here. The CAP certification, it will look like this one. And for the CAP conformity assessment scheme, it will look a little bit like that. Without going further into the details, as I said, we will explain it more in details later. So yeah, a small, let's say, not really complex scheme. It's, yeah, just to explain how actually it works. So the client is the, let's say, the entity that want to get his labeling level 2 or 3. So first of all, the client will want to obtain a valid certificate, X509, to create his own DID with the verification method containing a certificate, and to describe his service offering and add required attribute and object. Once we have all this information, what the entity and the client want to do is to sign his credential into a VC, of course. So you can use your own signer tool. Once you have that VC well signed, you want to obtain a legal registration number from the legal registration number notary. So, and this is in our Gaia-X clearinghouses. So, just the next step, once you get this information, so the legal registry number, you also want to, and that's why we spoke a little bit about the certification notary, you want to obtain a CAP certification VC. So, we will need to call the Gaia-X certification notary and to get our CAP certification VCs. Of course, we need also to sign all those VCs so it will be protected, and yeah. Once we have all these VCs and information, what we want to do is to submit, to try to regroup all that into one VP. So a VP is a verified representation. And we want to call our compliance engine with the input of that VC. So we submit our VP, and the compliance will return, else we are compliance level 2 or 3 or not. And if we are not compliant, we will get a list of error to be fixed, so we are actually compliant. So yeah, I didn't want I didn't want to go further and more complexity into how things work. You can find all the information we mentioned here in the links below, right here. Come on, yeah, right here. And also for the next slides, you will find all the information you need. So yeah, right now I just want to explain one example from what Giuditta showed us earlier. So for example, for the Secnum Cloud and CSPE, we will need all the certification for both of the permissible standard, and we also need the declaration criterion in addition to that. So for just explain the non-exhaustive list of the certification criterion. For example, for the P11 service offering has at least one legally binding act, the name of the field we want, in its legal document. So in the JSON file, we need to find this information. And for the P3.1.3, the service offering has at least one information security risk management in its legal document. So each one of the criterion, certification or declaration, we will need to find a type of an information in our VP. So for the declaration criterion, it's basically the same thing. So not the same, let's say, technical thing behind is we will want to go and find one specific field and one specific attribute in our VP. So every legal, for example, for the P115, every legal binding act of the service offering has have at least one country code in the governing law countries, and the same for the P3119. Service offering has at least one government investigation management in its legal document. So right now, I want to talk about our VC Jot Playground. It's a tool as a lab team we wanted to offer to the community. Maybe some of you know or use it already, but for the other, maybe it can be helpful for you. As you know, all our projects are open source, so you can pull, you can just clone the project, change the information you want, like, for example, to sign your own VPs, so you can change your certificate and your private key, so you can play with that. And you can also find 4 tabs. The first is to generate your VP VC. The second one is to sign, for example, a VC array. The third is for VP signer. And the last is to decode your GW token to, let's say, an actual result, JSON result you can read. Unless you can read a token, maybe. So yeah, here at the second tab, you can find some example of the unsigned level 1, standard compliance, level 2, and level 3 VPs example. So they are already prepared. We try always to maintain that data so you can actually play with that. And for the other tab, the fourth, the VP Jot decoder, you will find the data signed, so a GWT signed of level 2 or level 3 signed VPs example. And yes, just to be clear, those information are just used for testing and they are not really used for production environment. We just want to clarify that. So there is no problem in your further testing. So yeah. Also, you can find the link down there to test it or to try to use it as you want. Thanks for your attention, and we are listening for your question. If you have some.
No problem. I am Ricardo Izaga from Tecnalia. Just to be 100% sure, I mean, usually when we have the change of version between Tagus to Loire, it was the previous version, it was only valid until the new one, it was stable, so it was around 18 months. With the new approach, can we just suppose that the Loire versions would be available for 36 months?
You need to ask Roland, the Chief Operating Officer. Yeah. So he would determine that. Normally, you would clearinghouses would not be required to maintain Tagus any longer. The exact and they filed actually they agreed to a contract to maintain two versions, n plus n minus 1. So, but this is the clearinghouses have weekly calls. So if you want to kind of bring forward new ideas how to do that, then that would be the right place. Yeah, it's an operating decision from the architecture. That's completely separated. Yeah, the only thing which we really do not want to maintain any longer, really, because we have seen so much confusion, is Tagus. Because Tagus is technically incompatible. You use JWS signing not the enveloped the version of the VC. So that's really, we really need to get that into season 2 for the technical compatibility. Any other remarks?
This is maybe a stupid question, but there were a lot of numbers. What is the difference between the blue ones and the black ones? Yeah. Because I don't know.
Yes, thank you. So, yes, in fact, the blue numbers, Ryan used the same notation which I used, and the same numbers. So the blue ones can be only declared so far. So there are no certifications for this criteria at the moment. So
self-declaration. You need to do a self-declaration because there is no conformity assessment body doing that right now.
Yeah.
Yep.
Thanks. In some cases, in level 2 and level 3, you need a specific certification. Okay? What is the way to obtain that kind of a certification? Because you need to convert a paper, for example, 27,000, in an electronic proof.
So I can briefly, also use what Ryan said, which is the truth. In fact, for this part, in case the conformity assessment body is not able to directly issue a verifiable credential, which can happen in the future, we foresee that it will happen more and more. But for the moment, we have this notary function. So we have accredited notaries, and notaries can be used, and there will be a dedicated presentation.
Notaries is public?
Already operational.
Yeah, it's in the Gaia-X registry.
Yes.
Yeah. And Cloud Data Engine is
the notary
first
function used specifically to convert non-digital claims and assessment into digital ones, which can be then processed together with the other ones. Yeah.
Because the conformity assessment bodies are a little bit slower on the uptake of verifiable credentials. TÜV Süd is experimenting, so there are differences there as well.
We are a bit combining the old world with the new one and bringing the old into the new. Any more questions? If that's not the case, thanks a lot for that first part of the insight into Loire. Thanks a lot, Giuditta and Ryan. So please do not fall from the